Alright guys, welcome to this episode of Head-to-Head Battles. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the top 5 decks that I feel will OTK you in Archetype, which means no toolbox engines like Utopia Double or Dragoobleon into Numeron. So make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, hit that notification bell to join the notification squad, and come join us on Twitch every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. EST, alright? Be there or be a parallelogram, okay? Also, if there's anything you disagree with, comment down in the comment section down below. Let's have a nice chat. And if you agree, hit that like button. And if you disagree, hit that like button anyways. Anyways, enough of this long intro. Let's roll the actual intro. Alright, the first deck on my list has to be, and will always be, Maju. Now, you know I had to start with my boy because this is my OTK deck of choice and I love this deck. It's just so freaking fun. And the core of the engine is really not even that expensive, right? Like you have 3 Pot of Desires and 3 Majus, 3 Eater of Millions, maybe 2 Gizmek Orochi Serpents, and you're good to go. Maju does its job. Maju is a big boy and you can make it as big as you want, right? And then you throw in cards like Golden Castle Stromberg, even better, right? The amount of banishing power you have with Pot, Gizmek, and Eater of Millions, turn 1, you can banish 35 cards, going blind second, and have a Maju in hand, and that's literally game, right? And before, when I mentioned Golden Castle Stromberg, that card is absolutely broken, right? First of all, it allows you to special summon from the deck, which Hexatrude is your normal target, right? And then when you summon Hexatrude will pop something on your opponent's side of the field, right? And then people never read Golden Castle. People will literally attack into your Golden Castle, get mirror forced, and get burned for half the attack of the attacking monster, and then they're like, okay, I'm attacking again. And then you're just like, why? And they're like, bro, that's not once per turn. Read the card. Okay, read the card. Another really good package you can run in Majus is Dangers, right? Because Dangers, especially all the level 8 Dangers, help you get into kind of your secondary and tertiary win conditions, right? In the deck, Maju is your primary win condition, which is why it's on this list, right? We're talking about decks that can OTK, inherently OTK within its own deck, right? Without any toolboxes. But let's say you get unlucky with Pot of Desires and you need a second win condition, right? The rank 8 turbo in the deck is absolutely insane, okay? Gizmek Orochi Serpentron is a level 8. Hexatrude, level 8. Gameciel, level 8. And then you have 6 level 8 danger monsters, 9 if you're playing Ogopogo. And you have draw power in Trade-In. You get the draw in Pot of Desires. You get the draw off your dangers as well. The draw power is insane, and consistency wise, even playing 50 cards in the main, super good. Don't sleep on Maju. And then if you have more of a budget and you're playing really good going second cards like Lightning Storm or Nibiru, it's even better, right? The whole point of an OTK deck is to weaken your opponent as much as you can turn 1, so it's easier for you to break their board or whatever board they have turn 2, right? And if you ever been OTK'd by Maju, let me know in the comment section down below. And if it was me that OTK'd you with Maju, let's go. And guys, you have to understand, what is the spirit of OTK, right? Is it to punch your opponent for game? It's not. It's to do it inherently, right? What toolbox can the archetype itself provide me? Not that Maju is really an archetype though. But regardless, Maju is definitely an iconic OTKing deck, and the monster itself is so old that, damn. Alright, now, the second deck on my list is obviously Crusadia OTK. Now, why is this deck so freaking good? You know why? Because Big Daddy Equal-Max is Big Daddy Equal-Max. Have you ever hit someone for 20,000 damage? I have, with Crusadia Equal-Max. Now, Crusadia Equal-Max can OTK inherently within its own archetype. Crusadia Equal-Max is actually a better example of a deck that can OTK in archetype, right? The way the deck works is you need to link climb to get into Equal-Max, right? So you normal summon a Crusadia monster, then you go into Magius, then you special summon another Crusadia monster in defense position, Magius effect, draw what you need, etc., and you climb into the higher links, right? And we'll have an updated deck profile and kind of a how-to play video coming out really soon, all right? Now, the one card that really helps facilitate this OTK is Crusadia Maximus. Crusadia Maximus says you can target a Crusadia Link monster and it will do double damage during damage calculations, right? So this is the one card that will help you facilitate OTK. And then you also have cards like Arborea, which basically acts as a Balings in graveyard, right? You have a Leonis that can do piercing damage because a lot of players opt to put monsters in defense position to dodge the lightning storm these days. So if you see that, your end board just needs to be Crusadia Equimax, Maximus, and Leonis, and that's it, right? You do double piercing damage. How insane is that? Think about that. Anyways, do you know what Crusadia reminds me of? Crusadia reminds me of a perfect burger, right? Because like a perfect burger has like lettuce, tomato, onions, bun, patty, sesame, ketchup, tomato. Ketchup, tomato? Tomato is ketchup, right? And that's what basically Equimax does for you, right? Equimax is the perfect hamburger. You want to just put it in your mouth, like, and you can't resist its power, right? The power that grips you, like the power that you have in your hands. And something else that really helps Crusadia's OTK is actually a kaiju package. Now, the easiest variant of the deck that a lot of casual players can pick up and play is Crusadia Kaiju OTK, right? And with the new cards from Edco, like Parallel Exceed, like the deck actually got a lot easier to play and you have more extenders. The biggest downfall of Crusadia OTK that it's normal summon dependent, which means if they like judgment or strike your normal summon, it gets hard to play, right? Unless you have an extender in your hand. So your best case scenario with Crusadia Kaiju OTK is you basically kaiju their one problem monster, right? So in this case, it'd be like Borolo Savage Dragon or Appaloosa, and then you put it under their extra monster zone, right? Because Equimax points to that zone. And then you have your own kaiju, and then a Maximus or a Maximus and a Leonis plus your field spell. Like, there's no way you don't win that, right? And the thing is, Equimax has a built-in inherent negate, right? You basically tribute one that is pointing to, and then you negate. So if they only have one negate left on board, and your Crusadia Equimax has two Crusadia monsters attached to it, like, you're good to go. Crusadia OTK was like the first deck I took competitively to locals, and we crushed it, bro. We literally went like 5-1. Like, it was insane. I love the deck. You guys should try it too. And if you guys want to see a deck profile, let's get this video to like 500 likes, and then we'll post that deck profile and combos. Now, the next deck on my list is Mathmech. You heard me right, Mathmech, okay? A lot of people are sleeping on this deck. Final Sigma is like literally a hell of a card. If it's in the extra monster zone, it's like low-key invincible other than kaijus, okay? Now, the archetype is actually getting a lot more support in Mathmech Diameter. So basically it's like they all have like math names like Mathmech Addition, Mathmech Subtraction. It's actually a really fun archetype to play, and it's definitely a really good rogue contender in the upcoming format. Now, Mathmechs being Cybers monsters have a lot of support, right? Like Signet Mining, and then you have a lot of other cards that helps kind of push the Cybers agenda forward, right? You can also use a rank 4 toolbox to kind of supplement like your secondary win condition in Mathmechs, but Final Sigma just does 12,000 damage, right? Like, it's just a really good card. The deck can actually summon it out very consistently, but it's kind of like that one boss monster type of monster where it like needs to be in the extra monster zone, so like that in itself creates a couple problems. But to be very honest, there isn't much to be said about this deck just yet. Now, this deck, I believe, can do really good things, and you guys should pick up your core while they're cheap, because once it gets the new support, and if you read Mathmech Diameter, I'll have it up on the screen right now, and I'll blur myself out. You can see what it does for yourself, okay? It's a really broken card, and I feel like it will really help the deck in its consistency to OTK. One of the biggest key things that this deck is missing is kind of like an easy way to get your tuners and searchability, right? Like, Prima Mathmech Alimbertion kind of helps you in that aspect, but like that's a lot of resources, and I feel like it's unnecessary. So if they could get a card that can do what Alimbertion does in one card as opposed to spending like 3, I feel like the deck can be really more, like much more like viable to play in today's format. As a deck that can OTK and like a deck that like requires consistency, you want it to be able to be resilient to hand traps, right? And especially Nibiru, which is really hard, right? So any rank 4 toolbox can actually now run Trap Tricks Rafflesia, which is a really good toolbox to dodge Nibiru, because Trap Tricks Rafflesia will get you Gravedigger's Trap Hole, which is a really cheap card right now, and that basically helps you dodge Nibiru in any OTK deck that can abuse the rank 4 engine, and most OTK decks can because of Parallel Exceed. Thank God Parallel Exceed was a common in Edco, because that card could have been secret rare and just punching through the wallet. This is your wallet. This is your wallet. This is Konami. It's like they could have done all of that, but they didn't. Thank you. So the next archetype on our list is actually heroes. Now, I know I mentioned heroes a lot in a lot of my videos, because like all of our videos are kind of like rogue, casual, like OTK, like fun decks. Like they're fun decks. They're fun to play. And Heroes is actually a really good deck that can OTK, right? Because Trinity was like the OG OTK, right? Like easily summonable, super good. Like if you leave a monster in attack position by accident and you don't know you're playing against Trinity, like you're just done. Like it's over. It's a wrap. This deck actually has a lot of lines of play that you can do, right? Because like you have a lot of fusion cards and like Absolute Zero. You have Malicious Bane now, and not even the fusion cards. You have Plasma and then like Dark Law. Like the deck has a lot of good cards, but it's missing like an Omni Negate that you can put up mid combo. Konami, please. Heroes, Omni Negate mid combo. Let's put those together, you know, for us, the fun guys. So anyways, double Dark Law Plasma Pass is actually a really hard board to out going first, but now going second and OTK variant, you have a lot more options, right? Trinity is only one of the ways you can OTK, and like you don't have to only OTK with one guy, right? Heroes put up a really big board with cards like Decimator and Trinity and like even Malicious Bane, right? Like all these cards are huge beaters and they all do a lot, and like the deck is really good inherently, and it just wants to kind of end the game as fast as possible, which is in line with the spirit of OTK, right? Because when you're OTKing, you want to end the game like turn 2. Like you definitely don't want to play past turn 2, which in itself it can be seen as a weakness, but if you're winning that quickly, is it a weakness? Huh? Comment down below. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves about Heroes is that they're not modeled after My Hero Academia heroes. Imagine a hero card modeled after All Might. So anyways, back to serious. This is serious Susu, okay? Again, if you guys want to see a Heroes deck profile, let's get this video to 500 likes. If we get this video to 500 likes, we'll just like dump out all the deck profiles, you know what I mean? Okay, so the last deck on my list for today is Cyber Dragons. Now, Cyber Dragons, again, another really good deck that is really good at OTKing, okay? Rampage is like a bananas card. Rampage does so much. It pops, like it removes back row, like it can attack 3 times. It's insane. The card is insane, okay? And it's so easy to summon. And a lot of people think Cyber Dragons is literally Infinity Pass. Oh, how wrong you are. Now, back on the topic of Rampage Dragon, I'm gonna have it up on the screen, and let's read what this card does together. A fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion materials. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target spells and traps on the field up to the number of fusion materials used for its fusion summon. Destroy them. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target once per turn. You can send up to 2 light machine monsters from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, for each monster sent to the graveyard, this card gains 1 additional attack during each battle phase this turn. Bro, what other card does that? Huh? That card is broken, man. Like if you're playing this deck old school OTK, like you have cards like Limiter Removal, Power Bond, like these are all cards that help facilitate the OTK. And then you have like Twin Cyber Dragons, like you have so many cards that are just huge beaters that like attack multiple times. Like what other deck makes you think like, yeah, I could probably end this game turn 2 pretty quickly. And this deck is also really good because you have cards that, you know, like Cyber Dragon Infinity. It's a really good card, and a lot of people don't respect it because they just think it's like 1 negate, right? But then on top of that, Cyber Dragons have Cybernetic Overflow, right? And you have Budget Nibiru and Elatanin. Like the deck does everything, and it just inherently in its own archetype enjoys the OTK, right? And that was the kind of the criteria for today's video, right? Like what decks can kind of facilitate the OTK without relying on any toolboxes, right? And this deck also inherently just runs a small kaiju package. Like if you're OTKing, I feel like you just absolutely need kaijus, because like you need to out the Appaloosa or the Borolo Savage Dragon or the Herald or any other problematic monster that you can't out. And Cyber Dragons has been a huge rogue contender in literally every format, right? Because like you have Cyber Dragon Orcus, Pure Cyber Dragons, Cyber Dragon this, Cyber Dragon that. Like the deck is really good. That's why the people splash it. And you can't forget that Mega Yeet Dragon is a card, right? And you can run Phantasma in the main as well. And the deck just does a lot. You have a lot of lines of play, and it's very counter punchy, do I dare say. All right guys, as always, thank you for watching these videos. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and comment down below, what is your favorite deck that can OTK in its own archetype, right? And as you know, let's get this video to 500 likes. In 5 days, we'll be giving away a booster box with the most recent set. And don't forget to come hang out with us on Twitch, all right? And also, guys, we have a lot of big things planned coming for you guys before this year ends. So our goal for the end of the year is to hit 10,000 subs, all right? If we can hit that goal, we're going to be doing the biggest giveaway you've ever seen in the YouTuber history, all right? So we freaking love you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Just hugs and kisses. Je t'aime. I will catch you in the next one. This is Susu from HeadtoHead Battles, signing out.